and we'll get into it. So, cool. Okay. Again, so quick housekeeping. Welcome. This call is being recorded. Please mute your microphone. If you do have a question, please feel free to unmute. We'll try to get through the slides that we have in the first 25 to 30 minutes, and then we'll do a proper Q&A session. We will do some introductions with the team members here, Q&A at the end. And what this session will cover is what is the SIP program? We'll talk about the intern application, timelines, what to expect for 2024, and then the best part of it all, Q&A. So we are the Science Internship Program. I'll start. My name is Anand Lalaria. I'm the Operations Coordinator. Lily.
Everyone, my name is Lily Espinosa. I'm the SIP Assistant Director.
You can go next.
Lindsay Lawver.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Lawver. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the CREST Associate Director. CREST stands for Creating Equity in STEAM. And we're an umbrella of programs that engages students and the public in critical thinking in the context of STEAM research with a focus on BIPOC, under-resourced, and historically excluded students. We have a variety of programs under our umbrella. I will put a link into the chat so you can explore the other programs if you're interested. But really briefly, they're Shadow the Scientist, Python and Research, Research in Computational Biology, or Recom Bio. And then we also have SIP, of course. So, all right, I will pass it on to Raja.
Hi, everyone. My name is Raja Guhathakurta. I'm a professor of astronomy and astrophysics at UC Santa Cruz. I've been here, it's going to be 30 years for me in this role at UCSC. The SIP program has been running for about half that time, and I helped found the program in 2009, and we're excited about the upcoming 16th edition of SIP. My research is in the area of astronomy and astrophysics, and happy to answer questions about that.
Right. It's our Sweet 16 here. Really quickly, feel free to ask questions in the chat. The rest of the team members will be on the chat and will answer questions. And there are 150 people on this call. Great number. Are there any returning interns, alumni, family, siblings? If there are, can you please do a quick raise of your hand virtually? Love to see if we have any returning interns. And if you do, please feel free to answer questions in the chat as well, or add any tidbits from your experience. There's no hands going up. Not a problem at all. Fresh start for SIP 2024. Okay. So let's get into it. What is SIP? SIP 2024 will be a 9-week program. It is a research internship program for high school students in STEAM. High school students work with UCSC PhD students, professors, post-PhD researchers. High school students work with grad students, PhD students, and professors, and they provide one-on-one mentoring of these high school interns in small groups of 3 or more. The research projects are real in that they are not made up just for high school students. Instead, students are inserted into existing research projects currently happening at UCSC and make direct impact and contributions to the researcher and their research. Opportunities for wider exposure to topics in current research, academic enrichment, and college preparation are embedded into the program during the internship day. Categories of STEAM activities. So SIP really encapsulates 3 out of the 4 categories that you see on your screen. Access, enrichment, exposure, research skills building, and open-ended research projects. The cutting-edge research projects that are potentially publishable and involve close mentoring by professional researchers and include trial and error and learning from productive failure. This is all the work that takes place with the mentors and the small groups of interns. The essence of SIP is the critical thinking in the context of closely mentored, open-ended, real-world research projects. Raja, do you want to add and tell the story of the intern's picture that we see on the
Happy to
slide?
do that. This is a picture of Erica. Erica Escalona was a student at Aptos High School years ago, and she was a rising senior in her high school when she took part in SIP. She's in a chemistry lab here, and chemistry had been her favorite subject in high school. And she had sort of been too daunted to apply to SIP when she was a rising junior, and later regretted it because she had a terrific time as a rising senior and wished she had done it, done SIP 2 years in a row. Anyway, she got tremendous experience. You can see it's not a classroom setting, it's an actual research setting. Erica applied to Princeton, early decision, and got in and ended up going there. And this was years ago. But she was a first generation college student. Neither of her parents had gone beyond elementary school. So this was a tremendously impactful experience it was for her. And of course, she went on to do great things at Princeton. Take it away, Anna.
Absolutely. This is a fun graph showcasing the growth over the 15 years of SIP. Super excited for SIP to be running its 16th year. But as you can see, SIP started back in 2009 with 3 students. Our last fully in-person year was 2019. We had 180 students. We were able to expand and grow the program through the virtual offering. 225 students in 2020, 313 in 2021, 326 in 2022, and 394 in 2023. SIP 2024 will be returning in person and taking place on UC Santa Cruz campus, and we're excited to see what the numbers are for SIP 2024. This is a slide on the gender and diversity. Roughly a third of all SIP interns have overcome serious societal obstacles, coming from underrepresented ethnicities, being first-generation college aspirants, and coming from low-income backgrounds. And we can see historically it's been a 3-to-2 female to male ratio. Overall statistics over the course of 15 years of SIP, 485 different high schools have been represented within the program. This consists of 2,225 high school participants. This is 1,875 different high school students, and there have been 350 instances of repeats. SIP interns coming back to do it again. This is a fun visual of the 493 different high schools that have been represented in SIP. Yes. We hope to add to it this year, but the text, if you see it in black, those are schools that are in California. Schools that are in blue text, they are within the United States. Schools that are in red text are international. And there is a distinction if it's italicized. Roger, do you want to add to that? Or is there not?
I can easily add to that. You talked about italics and Roman font, right?
I didn't say anything about Roman font. I just went through the colors.
You went through the colors. Okay, italics is private schools and Roman font is public schools.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about the research projects. The mentors and interns per project. A project consists of 1 to 2 mentors, a primary mentor and a co-mentor, or a co-mentor. These are PhD students, post-PhD researchers, or professors. A project consists of a minimum of 3, and it can be more. It could be 4, 5, 6. Last year, there was a project with 10 interns. The eligibility for SIP students or interns, students who participate in SIP, they must be 14 years of age or older by the start of the program. The program kicks off on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. And the eligibility cutoff is they must, I mess this up every time. They must be 17 by the end of the program.
I can jump in here, Anand.
Yeah.
You can do SIP if you're going to be 14 or older or 17 or younger through the course of the program. If your 18th birthday is before the end of the program or your 14th birthday is after the start of the program, you're not eligible.
And this tends to be rising freshmen to rising seniors. All right, SIP spans 26 different subject areas across UC Santa Cruz. There's really something for everyone. We might have a project in the mathematics this year. We're super excited about that, but we'll dive into it a little bit more. This is an example of a computer science project. This was from a remote year. The project code was CSC. This is computer science and engineering. The title of the project was Generative Adversarial Networks, or GANs. The primary mentor was Syed Kargar. Syed Kargar will be a mentor again this summer. His faculty advisor was Professor Faisal Nawab. Raja, I'm not sure, but I think Professor Faisal Nawab moved to UC Irvine, but he's still
Not
Syed's
sure. That's a great question. I'm
faculty
going to
advisor.
quickly look up online and see.
Yeah. This was a remote online project. All the projects in SIP 2024 will take place in person. There were 4 interns in this project. This is a project description. It gives you a brief overview of Syed's research and what the interns should expect to get into and work on while they are participating in SIP. And then the tasks, what the SIP interns will learn and do over the course of, this was 8 weeks, but for this summer it'll be 7 weeks. And then all projects have required skills for interns to have prior to acceptance. If there are any required skills, this is a computer science project, so computer programming was preferred, prior experience, and then skills interns will acquire and hone: computer programming and statistical data analysis. This is an example of an astronomy and astrophysics project. This project code was AST01. The title was What Happens Around Supermassive Black Holes. The primary mentor was Dr. Martin Gaskell, a UCSC professor. The location, this was a remote project, and there were 3 interns in this project. Again, you can read the project description, the tasks, and then skills required prior to acceptance, and then skills interns will acquire and hone. And then there was a link where you can further learn more and see Dr. Gaskell's work. All right, diving into details for SIP 2024, what to expect in SIP 2024. So SIP 2024 is returning to a fully in-person format this summer. We welcome our interns to engage directly with our community, resources, and opportunities at UC Santa Cruz. We believe that a fully immersive in-person experience will foster deeper connections, facilitate hands-on learning, and enhance the overall educational journey for our interns. This underscores our commitment to providing a rich, interactive environment that supports intensive learning and collaboration. The research day, the schedule. Research takes place Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. But the specifics of your schedule will vary by your research project and your mentor. Overall, roughly, interns should expect to dedicate roughly 6 hours per day to their internship. This is kind of broken down in blocks. The morning block of research, 9 a.m. to 12. And then you have an hour for lunch, 12 to 1. And then your afternoon block of research, 1 to 4. Interns are expected to be, or each mentor will set the schedule for their team meetings and check-ins. Interns are expected to be self-starters. They're comfortable working independently without their mentor. There may be instances and times where your mentor isn't there and you're working either independently or with your fellow interns in your research project. The biggest thing is interns must prioritize their SIP research and be careful to minimize all other summer commitments. Attendance is crucial. Interns are required to engage in the full duration of the program. Interns who repeatedly fail to engage will be dismissed from the program. If school starts before the SIP program ends, let us know. We'll work with you. We'll adjust your schedule around that, and your mentor will also be in the fray. Also, if school doesn't end before SIP starts, we'll work with you and be flexible on dates like that as well. And then the extracurricular offerings beyond the research that forms the core of the program. SIP 2024 will offer a variety of academic enrichment lectures, research career prep workshops hosted by your alumni buddies and SIP staff and your RAs, and social activities designed to enrich the intern's summer experience and foster community among interns. These activities will be conducted in person, allowing interns to benefit from direct interaction and networking. SIP 2024 program costs. So there is an application fee. This is $60. This is non-refundable. If you receive an offer, there is a $500 deposit to hold your spot. And then there is the rest of the remainder of the academic program fee. That is $4,250. The full tuition cost is $4,750. There is financial aid, financial assistance, full and partial need-based scholarships are available. And these are 25, 50, 75, and 100% financial aid packages.
Anand, before you go on, very quickly, two things to say about this. Last year, about a third of our students were on need-based financial aid. And for most of them, it was 100% scholarship, covering all of tuition, covering housing and meals as well.
Yes.
The other thing I'll say is if the $60 application fee will pose any kind of financial hardship for you and your family, all you have to do is request an application fee waiver from us, and you would do that by writing an email.
We'll show it on the SIP website after a few slides, but there will be the application link, and then there's a different IRIS payment portal link, and then there's the financial aid instructions below, and there will also be a video on how to navigate paying in IRIS, which we'll get to. But let's jump to the SIP application. The intern application opens this Friday, March 1st, 2024. It is open throughout the month of March, and it will close on Sunday, March 31st, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. That is the same deadline for the teacher recommendations. The SIP application is 4 parts, and there is a financial aid part 5, which in part 1, all students that are applying have the option to click to apply for. Part 1, this is where you fill in your personal information. Part 2, this is your teacher recommendations. You will list the teacher and their email, and they will receive an email prompting them to write a letter of recommendation. This can be a STEAM teacher, a coach, somebody that knows you really well and will write the best letter of recommendation for you. And then you will also upload your latest unofficial transcript or grade report. Part 3, this is the skills and subject area essays and your personal statement. The research projects are being added in real time. 7 research projects have been posted, and we will go to the SIP website and I'll show you the SIP 2024 research projects. But SIP research projects will be added continually even after the SIP application is closed. So what we want you to do is to look at the research subject area that you want to do research in over the summer, not necessarily the AST1 project that you're interested in, just because they're not all published yet, but the subject area. We would ask for 2 subject area choices where you will write a 200 words or less short interest essay. And then there is an option to select an additional 3rd research subject area if you would like to be considered and placed in that one as well. There is no essay for the 3rd choice. And then there is a slightly longer, short personal statement on what you would like to get out of your SIP experience and the research. This is 500 words or less. Part 4 is going to be where you certify that all your information is yours and true, and that you filled out your applications and wrote your own essays, and then you submit it. And then in part 1, if you chose to click the box to apply for financial aid, in part 5, you would see the financial aid application. This is where you upload your family's latest tax returns, and then you also input the number of dependents that are associated to that tax return. No, okay. Let's look at the SIP 2024 program schedule. So March is when the application is open. The first round of admission offers will be sent out on April 26th, and there will be additional rounds following that. May 7th is the deadline to accept your admission offer and pay the $500 deposit. And then you have an additional week, and May 15th is the deadline for the full payment, the remainder of your tuition payment. And then throughout the process, when you receive your offer, you will also receive a registration packet. That's all the rules, living on campus, and other paperwork, submitting healthcare information, that type of stuff. And we would ask for that to be completed on May 15th. Research preparation weeks. So SIP 2024 will be a 9-week program. The first 2 weeks are research preparation weeks. These are entirely virtual. They are online. This will take place from June 10th through the 21st. And then the program kicks off on Sunday, June 23rd. This is the kickoff and move-in day. Even if you're not moving in, we ask for you to attend the kickoff day. And then active research, in-person active research starts the following Monday. Thank you, Jacob. Let's please not draw on the board on the virtual Zoom screen. 7 weeks of active in-person research. And that goes from June 24th through August 9th. And then Saturday, August 10th is final presentation day. Attending presentation day is expected even if interns can't attend the final weeks of SIP due to an early school start. And if you had to leave Santa Cruz or can't attend final presentation day in person, your mentor will work with you to find a way for you to present, either joining live via Zoom or via a recorded part of your presentation. Daily life. I did see there was a question about commuting. There are options if you are not living on campus. We offer 2 shuttles. There's a North Silicon Valley shuttle. This has 2 stops, the Mountain View Caltrain Station and Saratoga High School. And this has 2 different options. There's a daily weekday shuttle, picks you up in the morning, takes you to SIP, you do your research, and it drops you off in the evenings. And then there's a Monday morning, picks you up, drops you off, you live in the dorms for 5 days, and then you get dropped off on Friday evenings. There is the South Salinas and Watsonville shuttle. This serves students and schools in Gonzales, Salinas, and Watsonville. This is a Monday morning and Friday evening, once a week shuttle. There is always the personal car or carpool option. We ask interns to get there before 9 a.m. Just because research takes place from 9 to 4 p.m. And then for Santa Cruz residents, the public bus is always a great option. There will be weekly shuttle signups. So if you, there is flexibility on that. More information about the North Shuttle, the pickup times, the drop-off times. The cost for the daily weekday shuttle is $200 a week. And the cost for once a week, Monday morning and Friday evening shuttle is $65. Again, all transportation costs are waived for students on financial aid scholarships. And these are the addresses of the schools. This is information about the South Shuttle. This would be $65, and those are the pickup times. This is some information about the dorms and the housing that SIP offers. So there are 2 options, 5-day housing plans and full 7-day housing plans. The 5-day housing plan, Sunday dinner through Friday lunch, is $600 a week. And the full week 7-day housing option is $875 a week. Information will be included in your registration packet, and more information will be given what to bring to UC Santa Cruz, what to expect in your dorm. Interns will be placed with 2 or 3 interns depending on space. And this is just a brief overview of what's included in the dorms, in the rooms, your extra long twin bed, desk, chair, bookshelf, clothing, and trash, recycling cans, and then what to bring. Daily life. Yeah, back in 2018 or 2019, SIP was at Crown College. UC Santa Cruz is a beautiful campus. Last year, during SIP 2023, SIP was at was hosted at John R. Lewis College, formerly known as College 10. This year, SIP 2024 will take place, and we will be hosted at College 9, right next to College 10. There are recreational activities for interns. We're super excited for the SIP 2024 programming offerings. We're working with our alumni buddies. We're working with different partners. Previously in the past, we've had field trips to different industries, headquarters, company headquarters. This is a fun trip to Google. This is a trip to an observatory. There are beach days. There are Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk field trips. And then dining hall. Housing, the cost includes room and board. We will be using the College 9 and 10 dining hall. The dining hall menus are expansive. There's something for everyone, and different vegan, gluten-free options are available. All right, we will get into questions, but before that, let's look at the SIP website. So this is the SIP's website as of right now. You can see what is SIP, intern information, mentor information, key dates. This is where you'll find the Zoom links. This was a Zoom link for today's session. We will have the Zoom links posted starting in March for the March sessions. For interns, you would want to go to program details, application process. And this is where you'll find the link to the intern application that is hosted on RegPack. And then you will also find that in another button, a link to the IRIS payment portal. And there will be more information here. There will also be a video guiding you through paying in IRIS. But a brief look at what the intern application looks like is right here. So this is RegPack. This is the SIP 2024 intern application. And this is how you register. And you will go through this. So this will all be live on Friday, March 1st. There is more information about eligibility, what type of program SIP 2024 will be, financial aid information, key dates, program costs, everything we kind of talked about. A big thing that we will stress is there are 3 parts to the application, or 3 parts in applying to SIP. The application, and oh no, this is acceptance and offer. Here, you want to complete your application for admission and then pay the application fee. In IRIS uses a different login and password than the one that you use to create your RegPack application. But we ask that you will use the same login credentials. A typical problem that we run into is interns or the student applying to SIP will use their email and create their password, and then the parent, in order to pay the registration fees and the application fees, will use their email and their password. So we just want to get out in front of that ahead and just talk about it a little bit. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to cover. If we wanted to get into the questions, happy to open it up. Please raise your hand and we'll just call on you and you can unmute. Also, feel free to continue asking questions in the chat. Sean?
Yeah. Can the recommendation letter be from a club teacher, club mentor, not a school teacher?
Yes. Roger, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think that's fine. We want a letter of recommendation from someone who knows the student well. That's the main thing. And knowing if they'd know them well, ideally in an academic setting, that would be the best. That would be the best for the applicant.
Yeah.
Do we have to another question is, do we have to select the research area or do we have to select the particular project in that research area?
You select up to 2 research areas, not projects, research areas, and you can actually specify more than 2 in your essay. You can, if you have a 3rd and a 4th or a 5th choice subject area, you can specify those in the essay.
Thank you.
Yes, very good question. And that reminds me, I was going to show the SIP 2024 research projects page. this is what it looks like. It lists all the different subject areas, and you will find more information about your projects. Right now, we do have a ACS Art, Culture, and STEM project. This is a 2024 research project, and more projects will be added. Check this page frequently, but for reference, we recommend that you look at previous years' different research project offerings, and you can get a better sense for what research projects look like in the past, what you would be doing, what the project is, what you would be doing, and you can kind of use that information when applying for SIP 2024. Okay. Sine?
Hi, Anand. Hi, Raja. Thank you very much for the call. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Yeah. So I am actually a father of a student from India. Just a couple of questions. How does the visa process work? Do we get a priority if the candidate is selected to go and apply and get it on time?
I don't know if Lindsay, you wanted to speak to this. I can take a stab, Lindsay, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, go for it, Raja.
Okay, so we can tell you what's happened in the past. There's, of course, no guarantee of how it'll work in the future because consulates and embassies do keep evolving how they operate. So far, what we've done is interns have received tourist visas, B1, tourist visas to come to the US because SIP is an academic enrichment program. We don't offer a UCSC degree. You don't have to come as on a student visa. We have, last year in particular, Lindsay provided letters that's, a letter to the student that said, you've been admitted, these are the dates of the program. Based on that, most of our students received expedited visa appointments because the consular officer or the embassy officer could see that there's no sense in giving a visa 6 months out of the program. It happens in the next few months. That's how it's operated for us so far.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Is the vegetarian food is there?
Many options, many vegetarian options. In general, UCSC dining halls cater to a wide range of dietary needs, preferences, restrictions. No issues at all there.
And do you have like microwave options if the student
Yes.
haven't to basically?
Absolutely, in the dining hall, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And in the dorms, right, Anand? In the dining hall and dorms, yeah.
There is a microwave in the lobby of the dorms for all the late night ramen sessions. Alicia?
Hi. So, this is not really related to like admissions, but so the program finishes at like 4. So what happens after, like during the day? Do you just have like free time or?
Yes, so there would be extracurricular activities planned throughout the week. The calendar of activities will be released before research starts. There will be some field trips, there will be some large activities, there will be some talks by alumni, sessions about college, application process. There will be beach days, there'll be sports days, there'll be karaoke nights, it's a little bit of everything.
So
And
would
there's
you say
also
it's,
a free time.
oh, fun. So it's
Yeah.
like a kind of like a college experience and you can go like off campus and stuff and
There will
is that
be field trips and group outings off campus. It's as close to a college experience that a high school minor can experience. You're not allowed to freely roam around campus, but if you want to go to the library, if you want to go to the Eastfield, you can let an RA know. You can go in a small group of other interns and get to that activity or get to that place that you want to be.
you go to like the gym or something?
Yes, in SIP 2023, we had gym waivers in place, and interns and parents were able to sign those and take and enter the gym. Well, we're still working on getting approval for SIP 2024, so that's a 50-50, but
Okay.
hopefully we can make that happen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alicia. Kimia?
Hello. So I actually had 2 questions, if that's okay.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I couldn't find these on the website, but first of all, I was wondering that so there are prerequisites for previous years when I looked at the research projects. And
Yes.
since they're not like exactly released yet, what happens if you like don't meet certain prerequisites or like there's like something about that?
I can take this one. The main prerequisite we tend to have has to do with being 16, over or under 16. There's certain projects because of lab safety requirements. They're limited to interns over over the age of 16. We will be taking care not to place an under 16 student in a project with such a such a requirement. We generally encourage our mentors to teach students the skills they're going to need on the job. So there's typically not a hefty list of prerequisites. Often mentors will express a preference for students having some coding experience. That's the most common kind of request we see from the mentors. I don't know if that answers your question a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And
If I can
also,
add to it
sorry, go
a
ahead.
little bit, Roger, you hit the nail on the head. It's just sometimes the prerequisites are absolutely necessary, but most of the time they are preferred. And also we take that into consideration because interns are coming from different backgrounds, whether they are a rising freshman, rising sophomore, rising junior. So the interns assigned to the project all have different backgrounds and levels of expertise. So the mentor really works with the individual interns, and the interns work with each other to help each other catch up on skills, teach each other, learn together. And there isn't like a clear bar that every intern needs to reach when entering the project and the research, or the start of research, but they collectively try to come together and create a plan of what they will learn and the research they will conduct. And that's what they hope to reach at the end of the summer.
right. Thank you so much. And also, do you have like a strong preference for in-state students? Because I'm out of state and I noticed that your international acceptance rate is like actually higher than out of state. So I was wondering if there's like a strong preference for in-state.
I wouldn't say there's a strong preference or strong bias. We've had quite a few students from out of state. I think you're right that our acceptance rate is actually higher for out of state than for in-state, simply because we get so many applicants from local students, and we simply cannot accommodate everyone.
Right. Thank you so much. That answered my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Pernille?
Hi. So one of my questions was, is SIP rolling application? So like the sooner you submit the application, the higher chance you have of getting in, or is it
No.
not?
No.
I can let me clarify. I mean, people should apply within the application window, of course, which is March 1st to March 31st. So the application window opens on Friday and closes on a Sunday at midnight. You don't get any preference or priority depending on the time of your application. We review applications when they're complete, of course, but we could start doing that even before the deadline, because we have some completed applications even before the deadline. So our review is rolling as it needs to be. Our placement is rolling for a different reason. We make a first round of offers in late April, but what happens is when we make a first round of offers, not all project slots are available at that point. So we fill the available slots, or we attempt to fill the available slots by making a set of offers. But as new slots open up, we make more admission offers and placements, and those happen together. When we make an admission offer, a student is placed in a specific project. But a second reason for going beyond that initial round of offers is because not everyone we make offers to accepts our offer. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thanks. Another question I have is like within like the different research projects, is there a higher chance of getting into one project than a different one? Like for example, if I were to apply to a CS one in comparison to an economics one, would I have a higher chance of getting into economics or CS, or it doesn't really matter?
That's a great question. There's definitely a supply-demand situation for different subject areas, right? There are subject areas for which there are lots of projects, and if not a lot of people have applied for those. Not as many people have applied for those subject areas, then the oversubscription rate is low for those projects and those subjects. If the converse is true, if there are very few projects, there's a huge demand for them. The oversubscription rate is high for certain subject areas. That tends to happen every year. Certain subjects are more oversubscribed than others. Everything is oversubscribed, but some more than others. Now, it's hard to predict what that's going to be because we don't know exactly what the demand is going to be, and we don't even know what the supply is going to be at this point in time. We will know, of course, by the time all the placements are made, we'll know what's available. But yes, generally, subjects like computer science, computer engineering, astronomy, astrophysics, they tend to be relatively neutral. Lots of projects offered, lots of demand for them as well. There are certain sort of subject areas, even though there may be very few projects, there may not be as much interest in those subject areas among our applicants, in which case, there may not be as much demand there. Psychology is a great subject. We have lots of projects. We have lots of people who have interest in that. So I hope I'm not giving you an exact answer because I don't have one.
It's hard to kind of see what projects we'll have this summer just because projects do continue to get added through April, and the intern application ends at the end of March, right? But a good reference would be 2023, and you can see there were 20 CS projects, there were 20 computational media projects, there were close to 20 astronomy projects, as opposed to there was one economics project, which unfortunately had to come to an end during the summer. But hopefully this year we have more projects and an even flow, but that's hard to forecast.
Okay, cool. Now. Yeah, that answers my question. Thank you.
Okay. Mohan.
Yeah. Hey. So my question is about the astronomy and the related areas. Will the projects be online or will it be in person?
Actually, if you want
everything will be in person this summer.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Isabella?
Oh, hi. I have 3 questions. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Okay, so the first question is, on the SIP website, where can I access the scholarship form for the application? I know you said that we can email you to ask if we can get a waiver on the scholarships, but I just wanted to know extra details.
Let me separate two things.
Yeah.
You email us if you need a waiver of the application fee, the $60 application fee.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it, which is the tuition, housing, all of that is done through the application form. In part 1 of the application form, there's a question that asks whether you wish to apply for financial aid. If you say no to that, then all you have to do is fill out the rest of the application. If you say yes to that, it opens up a special form that asks a few questions about your family's finances.
Okay. And the next question is if you live out of state, is that also taken into consideration when filling out the scholarship form?
Not in particular while filling out the scholarship form, because the tuition is the same for in-state and out-of-state students. The housing costs, meals costs are the same for in-state versus out-of-state students. So there's no particular advantage or disadvantage if you're out-of-state when it comes to scholarship considerations. I don't know if that answers your question.
I'll be a little bit more specific. I kind of come from a low income household, and I don't really have a lot of family in California. And so I don't know if that will hinder me from getting a higher chance of my scholarship being a little cover my tuition, or if it will actually help me or not.
So the need-based scholarship decision is based purely on family income and number of dependents.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't depend on, where you live or whether you have family nearby, because we offer 7 days a week housing.
Mm-hmm.
So that, if your family lives too far away for you to go home on weekends, we would cover that.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. And then my last question is, what is SIP looking for in students when they're applying for the program?
That is a great question, Isabella. I'm so glad you asked. And I know that if Lily, Lindsay, and Anand and I were to answer them, we'd give you slightly different answers. I'm going to give you my answer, and I'm happy for others to chime in, of course. What we're looking for in students are one of two things. We are looking for students who are really passionate about the subject that they're looking to work on over the summer. And we're looking for students who have perseverance, who really have perseverance to stick to the project through ups and downs. And we see this most commonly in students who exhibit a lot of social maturity, because you're going to be in an environment that's unfamiliar. You're going to be working with adults who you don't know, and they don't know you. So having that resilience, perseverance, and passion would be the two qualities that we really look for in students.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you,
you.
Isabella.
Mohan, you still have your hand up. Did you have any additional questions?
I'm good, thank you. I'm in a car, so I'm unable to disable it.
No worries.
No worries.
Anand and Lily and Lindsay, I wanted you to, Isabella's question is such a great one that I wanted to see. I didn't want to hog the answer there. If you guys wanted to add something to that, please do.
Raja, I thought you did such a beautiful job answering it. I think I agree with you that those are the qualities we kind of look for. I would also add maybe just a sense of curiosity and kind of an openness to, I don't know, to learn from your peers and just an openness to learn from different cultures and just really dive into the full experience and be fully present.
I concur with both statements said. I would also add that you will be part of a team. So being able to pull your own weight, add, contribute, and be a positive member of the community, because we want everybody to learn from each other as well. So that would be important to showcase within your essay and the statements that you make on your application.
I would say also really maximizing the opportunity. There's the aspect of research that's during the day, but there's also the social activities with your fellow interns and learning from mentors, learning from having a college-like experience as a high school student. There's much to learn, but also to develop the critical thinking. Just highly stressing that and coming in with those goals in mind. I hope that helped. Okay, let's move on to Rowan.
So I have a few questions. So the first one was for the teacher recommendation. Does it have to be a teacher from the current school year, or can be from the year before?
It could be from the year before. What we tend to say is the teacher that will write the strongest letter of recommendation for you.
Okay. And then my second question was for the lecture enrichment lectures and things like that. Well, if you're not a boarding student, will that still be available to you?
It's a really good question. So they will be.
Yep, sorry, I didn't completely understand the question. Would you mind repeating? Sorry.
Yeah, so you mentioned there would be outside of the research, there would be enrichment lectures and things like that. Will that also be available to students who aren't boarding?
Yes, those are during the workday.
And if there's a college preparation talk or a session hosted by the alumni buddies, those will be broadcast via Zoom as well. So let's say you have to take the bus home at 4 and the program is held at 5 or 6, then you'll still be able to participate. The in-person activities, like the social activities, that's going to be difficult to stream or have a hybrid offering to it, just because it's an in-person experience. We'll do our best. Bigger activities like the beach boardwalk field trip, we can move the shuttles back. So instead of leaving at 4 p.m., we'll have the shuttles leave at 8 or 9 p.m. that day, and then you can participate. But we're gonna try to have as much flexibility as possible. That's what I can say as of right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Gideon?
Hi. Do you think you could be a little bit specific about, or do you think you could just tell me about the range of programs you have, maybe like specifically in the STEM, math or physics, area?
The research projects?
Gideon, did you mean outside the science internship program or within the science internship program?
So within the science, I guess within it.
Within it, okay.
Would looking at the research projects page from last year help?
Oh, I see.
So we have a range of subjects. We have a range of subjects in 26 different subject areas, and you can see what they are. If you click on any one of those, you see the individual projects, multiple projects within each subject area, like you see there.
Gideon?
Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
What I might recommend, and also for everyone on the call, so at the end of SIP, on final presentation day, all projects, all the interns will present a 15-minute presentation, a group presentation on what they learned and the experiences they had. You can view previous years' videos and project recordings if you want to see what the end product was in physics projects. You can find that under presentation day videos. The password is capital PV and then the year. So trying to log in for I'm already logged in just because of my cache, but you will see a little login box with the password, capital PV 2023. Someone can add that to the chat. And then you can see, let's see the physics project. So yeah, so physics 03. This is with Tia, Oscar, and Ethan. Their mentor was a good one last year, Ham Prasad. I'm not sure if I'm sharing my audio. Let me share it one more time. Okay, so this is what a project looks like.
Is physics 03. Please go ahead.
Here's physics 03, and our project is the study of defect-induced magnetism in few layer MLS2. My name is Ethan Thomas.
I'm Tia Busnene. I'm a rising sophomore in Rosary Sisters High School, Jerusalem, Israel.
I'm Oscar Anderson, rising senior from Palo Alto High School. Our mentor is Ham Prasad.
In this research project, we tried to
I'm just going to skip along. But
okay, so
please check it out and you can see different projects.
Another quick question. Kavya has asked in the chat, can you please put the password in the chat? Kavya, which password did you mean? Do you mean to the 2023 project presentations? Oh, so someone has already answered that. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is that Shalom?
Hopefully that helps get in. Shalom Yifru, is she on the call?
I don't know. Who's answering as UCSC SIP? I'm wondering. Is that you, Anna?
That is I.
Okay. All right.
Claim responsibility.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the chat's madness. All right. Gideon, did that help? Okay.
Gideon, does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Perfect. Weisha?
Hi, yeah, I have one question. So, because for admission process for 10th grade students, that means rising junior, the chance less than juniors, calendar juniors.
I see. You know, that's a great question, Weishang. You're asking whether it's easier for rising juniors to get into the, if it's easier for rising seniors to get into the program than rising juniors or rising sophomores or rising freshmen.
Yeah.
Statistically, yes, because again, if we're looking for social maturity and demonstration of perseverance and passion, it's easier for a slightly older student to demonstrate that than for a younger student. So statistically, yes, but it's not drastically different. It's not like our admission rates are catastrophically low for rising freshmen, say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anvi?
Thank you. I just had two questions. So my first one was,
is a project decided like by the person who's running it, like by the mentor, or is it decided during research prep?
That's a great question, Anvi. The first option is closest to what happens in most cases. The mentors, are working on these research topics for months, years, in the case of their faculty advisors, decades. So what the mentors do is they carve out a piece of their research project that's going to be accessible for high school students, not too steep a learning curve. And so the original design, the initial design, I should say, of the project is the mentors. But in the course of digging into the project, you might decide that a slightly different route will be more likely to be more profitable. So there's certainly possible for tweaks as you dig through the project. So there's an initial design that the SIP mentors inherit. It's somebody else's project that they inherit, but they take more and more ownership of it, and they working with the mentor, they get to possibly change direction and move in the most promising directions through the course of the summer.
Okay, I see.
I want to
Thank you.
recognize, thank you, Anvi. I want to recognize that we're exactly at the 1 hour. We're just past the 1 hour mark. So I understand that people need to leave. I'm happy to stay on and answer a few more questions.
I'll stay on as well. Thank you all for joining. If you do have to leave, this entire recording will be posted onto the YouTube channel. So if you did want to come back and hear the rest of it, you can later. But again, the intern application will open this Friday. We encourage you all to apply. Please spread the word. And we look forward to reading your applications. But if we want to get back to the questions, we can, Raja. Anvi, did you have any other questions? Was your question answered?
I had one more.
Okay.
Is this research that you do allowed to be like with the mentor's permission, obviously? Is it allowed to be used for science fair or
Yes,
no?
with the mentor's permission. Sometimes the mentors, might not want that to happen because the information is sensitive and they haven't, it's the first time they're publishing anything like it and they don't want to get scooped. So, and it's also hard to predict if or when the research that goes on this summer will get published, if or when. And this is answering both a question on the chat and sort of as a corollary to your question.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Anvi. Sri?
Hello. Thank you very much for this information session. Really helpful and useful. So, two questions I have. One is that on the research projects webpage, you have all the subjects, right? Starting from anthropology to Z, whatever. I didn't go through everyone, but
sociology is probably our last in the alphabet, but
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So during the application, the student has to pick the subject, right? And not the project inside, correct?
They have to give us some subject preferences. They don't have to,
subject area.
At least 2 subject areas, and they can specify more than 2. The third and beyond would be written in their essay.
Oh, wonderful. And if they are accepted into the program, how do they choose which project they want to do?
We do the placement into projects. We, meaning the team that does the placement, does it. A team of mentors working with the staff really work on placements. And that's based on what slots are available, things like age restrictions, etc.
I see. So you pair the mentor with the student along with the topic.
Yeah, what happens is the mentors post projects first. That's happening right now. And that tells us how many slots we have for each project. And then students high school interns are placed into those projects.
Okay. So you basically decide the project for them. We just give the choice of the subjects.
Yeah, the projects are decided by the mentors purely because it's part of their research. The admissions team then, once we know what projects are being offered and what slots are available, the admissions teams, based on the students' preferences, place them into projects.
Wonderful. Thank you. Answers my question. Thank you.
Kate?
May I ask who reviews the applications? Are they the mentors or a separate admissions team? So more broadly, when we're writing our application, should we assume that they have background knowledge on the subject that we're talking about or no?
It's a great question, Kate. It's a combination of the two. We have subject matter experts reading essays, but we don't always have subject matter areas in every specific, subject area that we have to offer. So writing somewhat broadly, balancing your technical knowledge while writing for a somewhat non-technical, technical but non-expert in that particular field is what we would advise.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure.
For Neil?
Hi. Yeah, I just had a few more questions based on what was going on after I last talked. So, you were saying in applicants you're looking for stuff like perseverance, curiosity, passion, etc. So, like, in the essays, would you want us to like explicitly state certain activities that we did that have those kind of qualities in them, or what?
Definitely.
Okay, thanks. And also for like the amount of projects I'll be in like each subject, do you expect them to be similar to the amount of projects that were there last year, or some variance between them?
Quite a bit of variation. Overall subject areas will be the same, but the projects, of course, keep evolving. Research is moving. So even if the research project title reads similarly between, say, 23 and 24, the details of the work is bound to be different. The entire SIP program is about mentors and high school students doing work that hasn't been done before, covering new ground. And so in this sense, nothing is a repeat.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Ananya?
Hi. So I was just wondering, like, once we submit our application, how long would it like an approximate of when would we get notified if we got accepted or not? Just so like you can plan your summer accordingly and stuff.
Absolutely. The first round of application or admission offers will go out on April 26th. And we hope to have all the admission offers out by May 7th. So between that time frame.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to
Alicia?
commit, I don't want to commit to May 7th. I don't want to commit to April 26th because what's happened in the past is occasionally new spots will open up or we'll have people declining offers. And if that happens after May 7th, we will certainly make more offers beyond that date. If that happens, we won't leave the spots vacant.
We can commit to the latest by May 23rd, but we hope we don't get that late. Alicia?
Hi again. So, okay, this is a bit of like a niche question, but do you like for each program each project you apply to, do you write like a specific essay for that project, or do you just write a personal statement overall?
Two-parter. So the first two essays are short subject area essays. So you will write 200 words or less essays for the subject area that you're applying to. And if there is a project, if let's say you're applying to astronomy and you really like the Astronomy 1 project, you can write to that project. And then there's the third, slightly longer, 500 words or less personal statement, where we ask, what do you want to get out of SIP and the research experience?
So do you do both, like do you just choose one subject area or do you choose two?
Two. You will write two different short subject area essays.
So for two different subject areas. So it's because I'm like interested in like physics and film. So I'll kind of apply to both. But like the thing is, if I write in one essay, it's going to be really hard to focus on both. So like I want to do physics more, but like I would also be interested in film.
Alicia, you have 200 words.
Yeah.
It's tough. Just
Yeah,
take your
so
time.
okay.
Start the application early. You don't have to submit it on March 1st. Take your time, get help, have others look at it, and take your time with it.
So you just write one essay for both subjects?
No. One,
Oh, wait,
one,
so
one subject, one
Two
essay for
different.
each of your chosen subject areas. You can choose only one subject if you like. You don't have to choose the second.
oh, that's
But
fine
it,
then. Okay, that's cool.
okay, so one subject, one essay per chosen subject area,
Yeah.
plus an essay about personal essay.
So
Okay,
then,
that's
Raja, if Alicia applies to physics twice, would she write two different essays
No,
for both?
you would if you chose physics in the first, I wouldn't choose it in the second. That's you know, as your
so I
second choice.
so I could choose like physics in the first, write an essay for that, and then film as a second and write an essay for that.
Exactly.
Bingo.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Ishika?
Yeah, hi. I just had a quick question. I was wondering for our essays or just in general, should this be more academically focused or should it show more personality and things like that?
The subject area essay should be more academically focused, and of course, we want to hear who you are in your personal essay.
Exactly.
And also for our subject area one, should we like also explain why we feel like we personally feel connected to it or
Of course, definitely. We want to hear your reason for your interest.
okay, thank you.
Very cool. Nirmal, I see your hand is up, but I also see you're connecting to audio.
Yeah, I'm dialed in from
Oh,
two devices, so
very cool.
that reason, the browser didn't allow me to use the microphone. But anyway, the question I had was, what percentage of applicants get accepted for this program?
Last summer, that number was between 20 and 25%.
Okay.
It's hard to predict what it'll be this year.
Okay, thank you.
Quick time check. We are 12 minutes over. This has been a really good Q&A session. Excellent questions. Are there any other last questions that we can answer? And also, you always can email us directly. I'll put the email in the chat, but that's always a great way to get your questions answered. There are FAQs on the SIP website, and we will continue having application workshops where we will work through the application and help you with your application if you have questions every week in March. And also that's a great opportunity to mute, unmute, and ask questions.
One question, can student select the hybrid option like 2 weeks on the campus and rest of the weeks are shuttle?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hybrid in that sense, but as long as they're in person.
In person, all the time in person, but it's just
Yes,
not
absolutely.
staying.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be blocks like that. They could choose, week 1 shuttle, the next 2 weeks in person, next 2 weeks in housing. So yeah, every week they have the option of housing or shuttle.
Perfect, thank you.
Carrie, I see your hand is up.
Hi, sorry, so I did post this question in the chat, so I'm sure someone might be working on it, but I was just wondering what the possibilities that like a research area will be discontinued. I know like in 2022, the economics area was discontinued, so I was wondering how SIP might ensure that like admitted applicants will still have a project to work on, even if that does happen.
That's a really good question. Thank you for asking the hard-hitting questions as we're trying to run off.
Yeah,
but
no, actually what happened last year, there was a death in the mentor's family. They had to cancel the project. They had to travel. And what we did was we scrambled immediately, contacted the interns and asked them, informed them about the situation, about this unfortunate cancellation. Life happens, or in this case, death happens. And we had to respond to that emergency. And we contacted the interns and gave them the option of, here are subject areas that we can place you in. And before that, we had to do some scrambling to ask other mentors, where we could open up spots. So that's what we did. It doesn't happen very often, such late cancellation of projects, but that
life can
I don't know if that answers your question.
Generally,
yeah, thank you.
If you see great, yeah. Generally, if a project is posted, even if that mentor can't be the mentor, if something happens, if life happens, we ask for a replacement if there's somebody else that will carry the project forward. And if not, then we will try to place you in a different project.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Sorry that happened, guys. That's
Yeah.
definitely a really tragic event. So
Yeah.
I do see like those
Absolutely.
unfortunate.
Yeah. And that was our one economics project last year, so that just nullified the entire category offering, but hopefully we have more economic project offerings this summer.
I see two more hands up. I think we've answered all the questions in the chat so far, but I see
Yes.
two more hands.
MM? Not MNM, but MM.
I think that might be, oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
sorry,
Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead,
on
please.
mute, yeah. Yeah, so all these mentors are professors or they're PhD students or a mix of both?
Usually, most primary mentors are PhD students. Occasionally, we'll have primary mentors who are postdoctoral researchers. They finished their PhD and they're postdoctoral researchers. Sometimes they're research staff. Occasionally, there are advanced undergraduate students who are working closely with their, with their mentors. Rare occasions, they're faculty.
And just the last question, all those research projects which they pick, they are specifically for the summer program or they're doing it and these students are helping them with the research, which one or two?
It's the latter. So SIP projects are typically carved out of something that's longer term research.
Correct. Okay. So they are helping postdoc and PhD student in their continued research, what they're
Correct.
doing
That's right.
hands-on. So they're realistic research projects. Thank you.
Yeah. In fact, that sort of leads to a very important thing that because they're real research projects that are ongoing, because of that, what we can promise to the interns and their families and to teachers who are sending their students forward, we can promise an immersion in an authentic research process, an emphasized process. We can't promise that there'll be a discovery or a product, or a finding at the end, because you'll be embedded in an actual process, and when discoveries happen, they happen. When findings happen, they happen. We can't guarantee those.
Is there a presentation at the end of it?
There's a 15-minute
15-minute.
presentation by each group, and we shared the link to, the password and a link where you can access them for 2023.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Upalajan?
Oh, hi. So I was wondering for the letters of rec, does it just have to be a teacher, or if we have like a sports coach who is like in a STEM degree and has a degree in the program that we want to the projects we want to apply to, could we use them for the letter of rec too?
Yeah, that works well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Eric, last question.
Oh yeah, just one last quick question. I've noticed you talk about how you in the admission process you look for students with passion, with perseverance, with social maturity. Could a past research experience play a role in what you look for, or is this
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not an essential part of each application, but writing about that is certainly helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of your past experiences. It'd be great to highlight that in your personal statement.
Yeah. Or I just thought maybe SIP is mainly for students that are doing research for first time, or mainly trying to give opportunities for students who haven't been really be able to conduct research in the field.
The way I kind of look at it, it's a great opportunity for high school students to have hands-on active research experience. So generally, it doesn't really matter where you come from or your level of experience coming in, but once you're in, you get access to it over the 7 weeks, and that's where the growth happens.
Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Eric. Apologian, I see that your hand is still up. Any other questions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to lower it.
No worries.
No worries. I've stopped.